Congratulations, you're through to another final of the Carabao Cup. What did you do to control the game so well tonight?
Well, with the Newcastle never control completely, but they have a lot of one against James. It was unbelievable, especially in the first half. And but we haven't the right pace. I know the rhythm that the players that we play in the first half. They have a good pace, a good rhythm, and yeah, but we saw it, and how alive we were, and yeah. So Newcastle is a come on, it's a Champions League team. It's a top class player, except Joel Antonio Buga and Marais. They put all the players all the time, making incredible, intense game in all departments. So of course you suffer, but the guys were really good, and yeah, 5-1 aggregate is unbelievable and expected when we start the team like is the last Champions League Carabao Cup, and in March, the end of the March, we go to Wembley again for many years in FA Cups and Carabao Cups and so on. And yeah, we're going to travel to London. They will wait us there, so all the time we have to travel. Never travel in the north from England. But yeah, really happy to be back after many years, and 5 times in 10 years is a big milestone.
And a lot of good performances tonight. Omar Marmoush, how much do you appreciate his movements, especially when playing like this with 2 strikers up front?
Yeah, really good. His movements are really top, but really. So they make that movement in behind and have this incredible sense of goal. At the end, the first one is really lucky, but it's not lucky when you're playing with this passion, with this love, all of them. And yeah, really pleased for him, because of course that type of game with 2-0, it always can be complicated mentally, and we start really well. We scored, the 2 goals, the 3 goals in half time, so that was really good.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, important saves from James Trafford.
Yeah.
How have you seen his development, especially working alongside such an experienced goalkeeper as Donnarumma?
I said from the beginning, James is a top class player, top class keeper, so have an incredible future ahead of him. The position the keeper is special because, of course, he has to play and cannot play. Some players of Nico O'Reilly, can play a left back, can play attacking midfielder in the pocket, can play holding midfielder. But the keeper had to play keeper, and there is just one. And Gigi, of course, is an extraordinary keeper. But I'm really pleased we're in the final. He's going to play the first final in Carabao Cup for him and FA Cup, and of course, everything can happen.
Yeah, the first chance of a title this season. When you think of a group as in formation, what could it mean to win a title?
Will be good for more of them. So you have to live this experience. You have to live this experience for many of these players. For the first time we won first title in our era here was in a Carabao Cup 9 years ago, and was okay. Break something. When you win something, helps to win more. It's a pleasure to play against Arsenal, the best team right now in Europe, maybe in the world, and for many things, the stats, the consistency, the many details that they control, and as much we play against them, we will make us better team. And hopefully in March we can arrive with the players fit, and hopefully we can convince the Carabao Cup that Mark can play this competition, the final, because it's difficult to understand that the club making a big investment to play one player, to take one player. It belongs to us, and I don't understand why cannot play the final, honestly. So hopefully we make a letter, and hopefully the Carabao Cup or whatever, they can understand that once you buy a player for a lot of money, and he's not able to play for a rule that I don't understand why, hopefully they can change it, they can play.
Final one on Arsenal, because some people will argue that this title would mean more to Arsenal because they've been waiting for so long, because there's so much expectation. What would you say about that?
I understand, so don't make me say something that make me feel, something that I understand they want to win. I saw the celebration yesterday against Chelsea. So many years that they don't do it. It's normal that happen, but we want to do it too, and hopefully, just I pray that have the players fit, and have the players in our disposal to try to compete against them. So, but for many years, being again in another final is really, really good.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Natalie.
Yeah, 2 goals for him this evening. City winning 3-1 on the night, 5-1 on aggregate, and Pep Guardiola is doing a lap of honour with the City fans who are still here, as the players have done as well, and he's taken Manchester City into another cup final. And it means when we get to Wembley at the end of March, it will be a final between the Premier League's current top 2, Arsenal against Manchester City, a repeat of the 2018 final when Mikel Arteta was actually Pep Guardiola's assistant for that, and we will have that for you Sunday, March the 22nd.
Are we invited to that?
Sorry?
Are we invited to the final?
You're there.
One of you is.
I'll get me coat.
On there, maybe your graphic will be changed to former Manchester City goalkeeper for the rest of the show, and who knows, maybe. Yes, you will be at Wembley. I don't know how I've suddenly turned into the booking of the guests for Sky, but there we are. A good win for Manchester City in the end, 5-1 on aggregate. Plenty of reaction and analysis to come. The big things to remember here, and Natalie mentioned it to Rinders as well, is that there are a lot of players in this City squad who are waiting to win their first medal for the club, because it has changed so much over the last 12 to 18 months.
Yeah, I think when you're a Man City player, you come here for silverware, don't you? Being around or in amongst the lads who have won so much, it can only be good for you. But to win that first one, it's special. When we won the FA Cup 2011, and when you're playing with the likes of David Silva and Aguero and all that, you know they're going to win stuff. For players who might get moved on, it's important to get that first trophy.
Because we talk about it as a platform, and we talked about it with Arsenal as a platform last night. But if you are newish to City and haven't won a medal, it's equally a valid subject to say it's a platform for those players.
Yeah, I think that's what Rinders says as well. John, one of the biggest clubs in the world to win trophies. And again, it's going to be his first time in a Wembley final, and they'll want to go there. Semenya's another example. It's a shame, as Pep says, Mark Gahey's not going to be able to allowed to play because of the rules. But I would sort of go against that in the sense I don't think Semenya should have been allowed to play either. I think once you play in the competition, you shouldn't be allowed to play. And then if they say he's allowed to play, then Gahey should
be cup tied.
He should be cup tied like it's always been. But then
the rules changed, though, didn't they?
Yeah, but it's one rule for Semenya and one rule for Gahey, so it should be.
Well, no, there is no.
No, but what I'm saying is he should be allowed to play then, in my opinion. If he's played already for Palace, Gahey, the same as Semenya's already played for Bournemouth, he should be allowed to play in the final.
The rule, which is 6.4 of whatever guidebook it is, it says that the cut-off point is after the first leg of the semi-final.
Okay.
So if you sign for a club before the first leg, and this is the first year this has happened.
This is the first year.
The first year that you're not cup tied, yeah. So if you sign for a club before the first leg of the semi-final, you can play for that club if it's your second club of the season. If you sign after the first leg of the semi-final...
I don't agree. I don't agree with the whole thing.
No, but that's the rule. If you sign after the first leg of the semi-final, you are ineligible for the second leg and also the final. That's the rule.
Mark Gahey signs a week after Semenya and he can't play. So next month, Semenya can get his hands on that trophy. Mark Gahey, who maybe joins a week later, can't. It's I don't know how to use the word farcical, but I've used it.
Okay.
Makes...
I mean, rules are rules, aren't they? Simple as that.
Do you agree with the rules?
Can you understand them? Can you understand them saying
I understand
that they may see if they can get it changed?
I understand Pep's frustration because you just spent all that money on a player. You want him to play, of course. But at the start of the season, the rules are rules. So
forget my dinosaur views on it. But what I'm saying is, if you're looking at the defensive side, I think we talk about Newcastle creating a lot of chances tonight. Mark Gahey in the final would make them much more solid at the back against a brilliant Arsenal team as well. Yeah, but make a big difference, wouldn't it?
But that's irrelevant to the point, though, isn't it?
I'm still sticking to my point. I'm not changing my point.
I would love Gahey to play. I think he's been brilliant since he signed for Man City, but it's irrelevant because they're the rules.
We're still obviously 6 weeks away from this final, and as we always say, an awful lot can change in 6 weeks. Historically, though, Pep Guardiola's Manchester City have got the advantage over Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. Certainly, if you go from 2020 through to mid-2023. However, after that, the pendulum has swung ever so slightly.
I think it's going to be difficult, isn't it? I think you can't really pick a winner because Arsenal are better defensively, but Man City always try to win a game. It could be down to a set piece. Cup finals are normally only separated by maybe 1 or 2 goals, but I can't pick a winner. And it's same with the league as well. I think Man City obviously go to Liverpool at the weekend. That'll be very difficult. But in terms of one game, it could go any way.
It's interesting to see because the very last fixture on that graphic was a 1-1, wasn't it? The first time we ever seen Man City sort of in the second half try and go defensively and try and see Arsenal. So maybe the tide is turning a little bit, but until I suppose Arteta gets his hands on the trophy ahead of his master, in a sense, Pep Guardiola used to be his manager, of course, then it's still very much City's trophy, I think they take. Why are you smiling now?
Well.
Omar, congratulations on to the final. What did you feel was so strong in the whole performance as a group?
Yeah, we showed a very good mentality. We were together as a team. From the first minute, we were very focused on the job, and I think we showed our mentality and our passion in this game, and we're very happy to reach a final.
Your 2 goals. Of course, there was an element of luck, but there was also the element of you being in the right place and having the right reaction. So could you talk us through those 2 goals and those reactions?
Yeah, of course. I think the first goal was very lucky, but the action before, I dragged the defender out, play a 1-2, and then my touch wasn't the best, but in the end, the ball went in, and like you said, I try to make the runs always and be in the right place, and I'm very happy to score 2 goals and to help the team reach a final.
5 goals against Newcastle already. You had a hat-trick. You could have had a hat-trick tonight as well. What is it about you when you face them?
I don't know. I wish to get a hat-trick today as well, but yeah, I'm very, very happy to score these 2 goals, and it gives us, the whole team, the confidence to win the game, and hopefully we can win the final.
You have a chance to win your first piece of silverware here for Manchester City. What do you think it would mean, not only for you, but also for other players who haven't won a trophy at City yet?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest clubs in the world. We're here to win trophies, and we give our best every day to reach these finals and win the silverware, and hopefully we can do it for all the new players and also the players that we're here. They showed us that every medal, every silverware is important.
Well, congratulations, you're on to the final and you're player of the...
Take them to Wembley, but they did have, in the bigger picture, in the first half as well, they did create some chances.
Yeah, but I think the bigger picture is they're not taking the chances. I think with Voltemade, he's obviously a very good player, but he's not suiting the system in how Newcastle want to play. When Newcastle are at their best, they're on the front foot, counter-attacking, and sometimes today when Newcastle went forward, Voltemade's nowhere to be seen. In the second half, it changed a little bit. It got a little bit more impetus when Vissa came on the pitch. But they need to figure out what they want to be. And if they're going to stick with Voltemade up top, they've got to figure out how to get him into the game so he can show what he can do as well.
Do you think they're still figuring out what they want to be?
Yeah, I mean, it's a transitional period. Eddie said that, but you know they've been successful. Obviously, they won this League Cup last year, Champions League football. They're in this year and in knockout stages for the first time as well. So there has been progression, but it feels in the Premier League they've took a step back. Obviously, a heavy defeat tonight. And Mika's probably right in the sense that Voltemade is still question marks. He started actually his Newcastle career really well, but there's question marks. Where does he play? How do you get the best out of him? Vissa, I don't think, is fully match fit yet. You can see he's still a yard trying to catch up with play.
He's still getting chances, though.
But they're still getting chances, and that's probably a positive for Eddie. They're still creating chances, but again, City could have scored more goals as well. I feel like the balance of the team isn't right. Now, be that the front three or with or without Voltemade, I'm not sure. But there definitely seems a void with the balance of the team, because when City were breaking as well, they seemed to be wide open at the back, Newcastle.
I understand why they did go to a back 5 tonight, though. It worked against PSG. And the way Man City play, and they played 2 wide strikers today, but they're really dangerous down the width, so I understand that. But it's then, what have you got to do once you negate that threat from Man City? And at times I thought they was too deep and couldn't push up the field quick enough then to have a threat in that first half.
I mean, when you analyse all the goals, because of those wide strikers, does that then create even more room for those players who like to operate in that space, whether it be Rinders, whether it be Foden?
Yeah, well, I think as a centre-half, it's very difficult because you're sort of caught in no man's land. There you see him stepping out, Marmoush gets his finish there. But because you're not used to being in those situations, you're almost guessing where you want to be, and you're always a yard off
So
where you want to be.
sorry to interrupt, by the time you do step out, you're a second too late.
Correct. And that's, a second in football is such a long time. And you see there, they just didn't have it right. It works when you have a bank of 5 and you can sit in and the play's in front of you. But when you've got to be aggressive and push and jump up, if the timing's not right, especially against Man City, you will get exposed.
So I mean, when you talk us through the next goals as well, are you looking at Newcastle's midfield not helping the back three, or is it Newcastle's back three not helping the midfield? How does this work?
It's a bit of both, but let's not forget that Newcastle have to score a goal. They're already behind, and the impetus is on them to go and press really high. So if you look what Newcastle are doing here, they're trying to get a goal, but what happens there, you leave loads of space in the middle of the pitch, and then Marmoush gets his second here, there. But once you analyse it here, so here your 3 centre-backs here, and Eddie Howe's obviously told them before the game, we need to be nice and high. So there's no problem with that. His centre-halves being nice and aggressive, and as we roll it on here now, the problem is Tonali goes too early, and now your 3 centre-halves don't know what to do. So as we roll it on here now, you've got Rinders has got all this space to run into, and you're thinking your centre-half here, can you come across and stop that? And because there's no communication between them, they're sort of not doing
Look at that space.
both, which leaves the massive gap in the middle of the field. And like I said before, Man City will punish you when you give them that time and space. And as you see, we roll it on, Marmoush gets his
It's too easy,
goal.
chappers. It's too easy. You're away at Manchester City. They're a brilliant team. They can open you up. And as Meek says, if you're a yard off it, high up the pitch, a yard off it in the edge of your box, you're going to get taken apart. I think it's naive a wee bit from Newcastle to go here and play in the front. I know they have to chase the game, but we spoke before the game about Chelsea last night staying in the game. But after after half an hour, the game was over, maybe even less. It was good night Vienna for Newcastle. The tie was gone. So we're all brilliant in hindsight. And I'm sitting here in hindsight. We should have done this, should have done that. But had they've come here and been more, maybe in a sort of relatively low block or a defensive unit, and then used the pace of a Willock and a Gordon or maybe a Barnes or a Langa came on second half, showed bits. But we were too open. We were too open to defend against, Man City are a brilliant team.
And not only that, chappers, when you're a defender and you're going in there, you don't really want to be in there. You want to go nice and aggressive.
A long way from home
when
as well,
you header,
to defend.
and you don't. When you're coach, it's just all the space and everything's in front of you as a defender. When you have to be a defender and then step into the midfield area, you don't quite know the spaces where you're supposed to be.
You also said we there, and I thought you wanted to be...
I know I'm not getting the call for the final, so I'm going all in Newcastle.
Before we look at the third goal, just because I asked you this at half-time as well, you were alongside Kelly at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Sunday, you and Jamie. Did you see things there where Tottenham had the first half with the back three that City exploited here with Newcastle as a back three, i.e., I know it worked for Newcastle, the back three against Paris Saint-Germain, but could they have looked at how a back three didn't work for Spurs?
Yeah, but the problem
is it
is,
different?
So when City play that, they play 4 at the back and they play that box in midfield. So you have your 2 holding midfielders and you have your 2 number 10s, Rinders and Foden. So when you're a defender, if you're Newcastle point of view, you don't know where to go. They suck you in and they have the extra man in midfield, 4 against 3, and then you don't know. So that's why it's so important for your centre-half to step out, which you don't really want to be there. And if you give someone like Phil Foden time and space to get on the ball, half turns, and then you've got the runners from Rinders, and then O'Reilly as well making a run, it's very difficult to know.
What I'm saying is, given how it didn't work for Spurs at back three. And again, it's the hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Are you surprised that Newcastle in the end did go with the back three?
No, I'm not surprised at all. Just to the fact that City are so, I don't know, powerful down the wings, and you don't know if Haaland's going to start today. He didn't start. Marmoush started. Semenyo is really good from the wings as well. So you're sort of trying to negate that threat in wide areas. So I understand why they went with a 5, but it hindered them on the ball in the first half going forward.
Talk us through the third goal then, both of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a similar sort of thing here. And Tonali, Newcastle are in possession here. And again, that space is because Botman doesn't go nice and high. And once you're in this position here with the quality players that Man City have, you are going to get punished. And you see it better on this angle here. So Newcastle are on the ball. Now, there's a space that we're talking about. And this, I don't have a problem with this because Newcastle are chasing the game. They have to be brave.
Yeah.
They kept 2-on-2 at the back. Now, if you roll it on slowly, if you're going to play with 3, Botman now has to be aggressive with Rinders. And you can stop it at source, and then you're not running back to your own goal, which then negates that threat.
But that's
of
that
Man
1
City.
second thing again.
But again, it's timing. It's all about timing in football. And they're used to playing a 4 at the back. When you then go to a 3, it's difficult. Like I said before, when the play's in front of you, it's fine because you can track runners, you can organise, you can watch runs. But when you've got to step into the midfield area, and we're talking about fractions or seconds, it becomes very difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult to watch from a Newcastle point of view, how open they're, you know.
But they had to go for it, didn't they?
Yeah, I know, but it's damage limitations. I think Jimmy mentioned in commentary as well. They had to score 4, I think, or whatever at that point, and it's just too open. You know, you're right about Botman, for example. If he goes all the way in as a right side centre half, worst case, he's nearly got a rugby tackle Rinders. He's got to stop. He's got to do a tactical foul high up the pitch. He turns them, and then they're banging trouble. But they're so open. I mean, I don't know many teams that come here today that hadn't played that open. I don't see it. So I mean, Eddie and his staff will look at it and think, you know, did we gamble too much there perhaps? And I know that it's all in the line because it's 2-0 down from the first leg, but it's just really hard to watch them goals back because they're so open and there's no balance in the midfield.
Tijani Rinders got the third, as you just saw there, and he's now in Natalie Jedra.
Well done. Strong performance from the whole team. So what did you enjoy more about that tonight?
That we were very eager to go to the final, and we showed that from the first minute, and amazing team performance.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about Manchester City and not being able to maintain control of games in many occasions this season. Did you feel like tonight was a more controlled performance?
Yeah, despite the goal we got against us, we controlled the game much more. And that's something we have to build on because, most of the time in the second half we dropped down, and today was a better performance. So from that we can build.
Yeah, of course, the early goals helped and also the advantage in the first half. But why do you feel you had more control tonight?
No, everybody was directly sharp from the beginning, and we weren't that sloppy as in the previous games, especially in the second half, and that helped us a lot.
How much joy were you having running through those middle channels, especially on your third goal?
I was a bit surprised that there was so much space in between the lines, and with players like Phil and me, when we get that space, we can attack very quick, and that was very nice today.
Of course, there are players in this group, including yourselves, who are still looking for their first piece of silverware here in Manchester City. The players who have won, we know their mentality. They want to win everything. How much this mentality rubs off in you?
A lot. I play football because I want to win trophies, and now going to Wembley, first time there. So that will be amazing, and we will do everything to win the Carabao Cup, of course.
Yeah, and against Arsenal, you already know the opponents. It's a nice rivalry. Of course, they have the advantage in the Premier League, but the fact that they have this gap in the Premier League, does it help to fuel you guys because it's Arsenal, because you have a chance to win a title against them?
Yes, of course, and it will be a tough match. That's one thing for sure, but we will be very hungry, and we want to win this title from Arsenal. Yeah, of course.
And what have you learned from previous fixtures against Arsenal?
No, they can play. They play amazing, and they are a really balanced team. But yeah, we have to analyze in March and see where we can gain our strength and yeah, win that game, of course.
Thank you, Tijani.
Thank you.